Yeah. Two of you podcast coming back at you with another video. I recently saw this question posed by an individual. They were curious to know for tips on how to become a better follow. I'm pretty sure this is a question that a lot of people have pondered about, thought about, have struggled with. This specific individual was a follower, and she has been told on multiple occasions that she tends to anticipate moves in a class session. So I would absolutely love to hear from you all. If you did struggle from, learning how to follow, anticipating moves, how did you overcome this? What advice, what words of wisdom would you say to this specific person to help them overcome these things? Your input would be greatly appreciated. Please let me know in the comments down below. I want to first start off by saying that in a class setting, when you're practicing, you can maybe ask your partner, someone who you're maybe comfortable with, who you're familiar with. You can ask that person to sometimes throw in other moves that deviate from the pattern that is being taught. Preferably, maybe it could start the same and then just throwing something a little bit different towards the middle of it. I would advise try not to practice choreos as you see them in their entirety, but maybe just pick individual parts that you enjoy and practice those. Something else that you could do, this may sound kind of crazy or wild, but I believe it will help. Something else that you could do is maybe even try practicing with a blindfold on. Obviously, you want to ask a leader, someone who you trust, someone who you're familiar with. Like I said before, you want to ask them to do this, and you want to maybe have them start out slow. Maybe do the basic step, then maybe a couple of easy turns in a safe, well-lit location where you don't have to be concerned about maybe running into somebody else or hurting anybody else. I would advise you to try this with music as well as without music. I also want to add very, very important, and I always advise for this. I always cheer for attending socials, attending festivals, attending dance congresses, places where you're going to get a chance to dance with different leads who have different styles of leading, who are not doing a specific pattern. This will always help and improve your following. I highly advise to go to dance classes outside of your area. Just a chance, any opportunity to dance with someone who you are not familiar with. A big thing I want to point out, very big, I want to talk about is the psychology that goes into following. I'm not a psychologist, but what I mean when I say this is that it's very difficult to learn to let go and trust someone. So you really want to work on trusting the leader and letting go of control. It can be very intimidating. I completely understand. But it's why the road is called following. You're not the one in charge in this particular moment. You're going along with what the leader is doing. This requires comfort, vulnerability, and feeling safe. Those are not easy things to have, especially starting off dancing with complete strangers who are clueless as well. In that beginner phase, everyone is second guessing. Everyone is unsure of themselves. So in that beginner stage, it is very hard to give your partner your trust. Very difficult. So you want to remind yourself and give yourself time to acclimate. That's why, like I said earlier, I would advise going to socials, dance congresses, dance festivals, because it gives you the opportunity to dance with more experienced dancers, people who know what they're doing. And I believe that when you're with someone who you know is good or who you believe to be good, I believe that allows you to let down your guard and give them the freedom of control, give them the freedom to lead you properly. Another aspect of following has to do with the quality of communication between the leader and the follower. Part of why this person may be predicting moves may be because of poor, ambiguous signals that the leader is giving off. This is something that only can be determined by dancing with solid, well-experienced leaders. I would advise that when you're in a class setting, ask the instructor to lead you through the move a couple of times so that you understand what it should feel like. Very, very important. Very important. Something else to go on is frame. Frame is somewhat of a more intermediate or advanced skill in my opinion, but it is so important. Understanding your frame, your body control, and your positioning, this is basically what sets you up to be led properly. If you're too loose, then this is going to be something like trying to lead, spaghetti to dance. You're just too loose. You're gonna be everywhere. And on the opposite end, if you're too stiff, it's gonna be like trying to move something really heavy across the floor, which sometimes gets stuck on things and sometimes jerks around. So you really have to find that middle ground of being loose as well as being stiff. There's a really nice sweet spot, and as you continue to dance, you'll start to be more acclimated with where that sweet spot is and how you need to position your body, the frame of your body. All this just comes with time and practice. I want to add that shines are also a great benefit. From what I've seen, the best followers are also excellent at doing shines. And I believe this is because it gives them a solid amount of body control and positioning and a good understanding of what is required to move in a certain fashion, especially with a partner. So I really recommend working on shines. What I would do is I would film the instructor. If they have a shine or a solo section where they break apart, definitely focus in on that area. Then practice by yourself, film yourself, and then compare the two videos between your instructor and yourself. And then slowly just start picking a few things at a time to fix about your movement. This is a great concept, a great idea to help you improve and becoming a better follower. One more thing I want to add is that I always advise to take private lessons. Private lessons are a cheat code to becoming a better dancer. These are just my thoughts and opinions on this. I would absolutely love to hear from you all. What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Thank you so much.